What up, people? Push a Wild Black here with Push a Wild Black Sports. And that was interesting, wasn't it? They tried to give the game away, almost gave the game away. Cooper needs his butt kicked for that. You had him on the ropes, and you basically left 4 points on the board. You ultimately didn't need it in the grand scheme of things, but still, because you won by 23, but still, it shouldn't have went to overtime anyway. But Bears won, and Glennon played bad. He played, I mean, it wasn't as bad as far as the turnovers go, as it compares to last weekend. But yeah, it was bad still. I don't know where the receiving core was at all. There really wasn't any. They only threw for 50. They completed 15 passes. 7 of those passes were to your running backs, and then 2 of the passes were to your tight ends. So I don't know where Kendall Wright went. I don't know where Josh Bellamy went. I don't know where Marcus Wheaton went, because he was supposed to be your deep threat. Out of this, that was the big thing. He was supposed to be your deep threat. He was supposed to be your speedster out of this randomness that is wide receivers, and they didn't pass it to him. And they played really, really They played really, really safe. And if Ben Roethlisberger completed any of his passes, the Bears would have been in trouble. So I'm glad that they won today, but this is the formula. We gotta hope that the running game is on point. We gotta hope that there's no major there's no lead, or we jump out to an early lead. The Bears jump out to an early lead, and we keep the lead, and that's it. And that's basically your offense, because they are intent on keeping Mr. Trubisky out of the game at all, and Lennon is their dude, because that was okay. He had a fumble, he had an interception, he had a touchdown, and that's it. That's what they're gonna do. Hopefully, the shoulder injury that Jordan Howard re-aggravated isn't that bad, or Benny Cunningham could step in and handle up in his absence. And Tariq Cohen, they didn't even have him basically out in the getting receptions out the backfield. He did have, I think, 3 or 4 receptions today, but they kind of targeted him a little bit. The Steelers did, even though it was still he still was able to get away. Man, that last run was awesome. The one that his heel barely got the out of bounds line. That run was awesome. But Jordan Howard picked up the slack today. That's the 1,300-yard back that they found, and that's the person that's going to be their offense. Tariq Cohen and Jordan Howard are going to be their offense. I think Mr. Trubisky can make a receiver. I think they can kind of open up the offense a little bit to see what happens, because Glennon was there. I don't know what's up with him, but Trent Green was he has the arm strength, he has this. I'm not seeing it, or at the very least, they're not showing it. So I was very surprised that Kendall Wright was not targeted, and Josh Bellamy wasn't targeted, and Wheaton was only targeted once, and Deontay Thompson was targeted once. They got to figure out something, because Green Bay is not going to be. You got to hope that you can stop Green Bay, and I don't think you can. But didn't think you can stop the Steelers, and they were able to. But Roethlisberger didn't play well at all. There was a lot of deep balls that he couldn't connect to. Our secondary actually played really good today, despite Cooper's dumb decision on that block kickoff, that block extra point return or field goal return rather. He played in a couple of penalties. He did have a big play in the end zone. The secondary played decent, but you gotta score, man. Like, the defense played their butt off, and you gotta pass the ball down the field. But anyway, that's it about the game. I do want to say this though, and this is probably, hopefully I don't get demonetized for this one. Today, with Trump basically popping off at the mouth with this speech, I think it was yesterday. It was yesterday, or at least we were hearing about it yesterday. Look, man, I have a Trump vlog on here about my opinions about him in the Charlottesville situation and some other things. Look, man, like, we have freedom. We have freedom of speech, and in that freedom of speech is freedom of protest, right? So, Colin Kaepernick, I've done vlogs on Colin Kaepernick. I have an opinion on that. I'm not participating in the boycott, right? In as far as watching the games, obviously, because I'm still doing these. But the main reason I'm not doing it is because I'm doing these. When they put out the video calling for the boycott, I've sent it to all my football watching people, and I support it, even though I'm not participating in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the brother should at least get a shot. You know what I mean? Like, basically, he protested. Like, I want to say this, and then I'll, like, get off my soapbox here. Like, there are people in this country that feel that flag is a symbol of patriotism, is a symbol of honoring the soldiers and honoring, patriotism and honoring the soldiers and honoring the military. It is, but the flag is also a symbol of this country as a whole. And the whole point of Colin Kaepernick's protest originally was that he didn't feel like he, or not necessarily him, but his people are not being afforded the same rights and the same protections, keyword protections, as everybody else. There's a problem with police brutality in general, not just black, not just Hispanic, but white and disabled. We just had a deaf Mexican man killed about a week ago because a cop was like, the man didn't respond to commands. Well, you had neighbors yelling, he's deaf, he can't hear you. And the guy was holding a stick and he got shot. Like, that happens too much now. And it's always happened, and it's always happened. It's just we have social media now. Instead of everything being anecdotal, we have social media now. We have camera phones. Everything's recorded. So when Colin Kaepernick makes a decision to protest police brutality, and he specifically says this isn't about disrespecting the country. This isn't about disrespecting military. He came from a military family. There's a group of veterans for Kaepernick. When this whole thing happened, they issued a statement. Okay? Then, now it's becoming, because owners are scared, and as a marketer, as a person that's been in marketing and has been in marketing rooms and understands marketing, money, and fear and stuff, owners don't. This isn't about strictly the protest. It's larger than that as far as the NFL goes. It's his protest. It's the fact that he does, even though this past season he played, it was decent, but he has had some less than impressive seasons. So owners can use that, and they have been, as a reason to say, well, he's really not, because this wasn't after his Super Bowl run year. This has been after a couple of spotty seasons. So owners are making a point to kind of say, hey, is this really worth it? Is this really worth the hassle? There have been situations where sponsors have threatened to pull, sponsorships from teams if they sign him. So this is a thing, right? But you're telling me there are 32 starting quarterbacks that are better than him, or 64 quarterbacks better than him? No, there's some horrible quarterbacks. Heck, Mike Glennon is a horrible quarterback. He's bad. He's not good. And I honestly think if Colin Kaepernick was a Bear, we would be 2-1. And this isn't a Bears should get Colin Kaepernick, because I already know they're not going to get Colin Kaepernick just because of the culture here. But just to say that he's not better than, just to say that there are 64 quarterbacks better than him, that's not true. So when the players are seeing this, and some of them kneel in solidarity of him and police brutality, which was the reason of his initial protest, then you have our wonderful commander-in-chief say what he says, just off the cuff, all the time, without thinking, without writing anything down, just randomly just saying whatever he says. You know what I'm saying? I respect what the Steelers did today. I respect what Baltimore did today. I respect what Jacksonville did today. I respect what Cleveland did a couple weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, the brothers should at least have an opportunity to showcase his craft in spite of making, the establishment uncomfortable. Is he the best quarterback in the league that doesn't have a job? No. But he should at least have an opportunity, man. And this is beginning to be, they're signing arena league quarterbacks now. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. And we have a president that's literally, we have an administration that's literally calling for the firing of journalists. We have an administration that's literally calling out certain members of the NFL, Colin Kaepernick, all the time. It's like, come on, man. Like, this is ridiculous now. This has nothing to do with disrespecting the flag. And oh, by the way, anybody that says that this is two things. It's everybody's country. So I keep reading. I'm reading, and because while I'm watching the game, I'm still following social media, and I'm reading comments, and we're getting into discussions about things, and there's this overwhelming thing of, like, by disrespecting the flag, you're disrespecting my country. Some person, and I'm not even gonna say it's white people. It's majority white people, but there have been some black people that have done this too. It's everybody's country, and everybody doesn't have the same experience as you. And there's a large number of people in this country, black, white, Hispanic, able-bodied, disabled, whatever it is, that are disenfranchised, man. And just because, you feel that everything's hunky-dory and you want to be a super patriot and you want to be on Team Trump, even though he basically called anybody that kneeled for the protest of Colin Kaepernick and the protest of while he doesn't have a job. Basically, you calling them and their mother out of their name. I'm not going to repeat the phrase because I don't want to get demonetized here. That's a problem. It's a problem that our commander-in-chief feels the need to say that. That's an issue. Okay? So there's a lot of disenfranchised here. You know what I'm saying? And their protest is because of that. We've seen an NFL player had a gun put to his head on a traffic stop. And then basically the Las Vegas Police Department, which is where this happened, we've seen that police department say that the reason that situation happened was because of his disrespect to cops. Not about the incident, but his disrespect to police and the country. So, I don't know, man. I have... It's everybody's country, and everybody's doesn't have the same experience as you. It's fine. Oh, and this is another thing I wanted to bring up. I want you guys, anybody that listens to this and has an issue with the disrespecting of the flag, I want you to look up the U.S. code on, and I forget the name of it, and I'm not by my computer right now. I want you to look up the U.S. code of respecting the flag. There is a code on this, and it specifically tells you about how to handle flags and what the flag can and cannot be on, how to handle them, how to carry them, how to dispose of them. I used to actually know this because I worked for the federal government for 4 years, and that's something that we kind of had to know. But it's been a minute. But basically, what the NFL does by showing the colors disrespects the flag. It honors the military, but it disrespects the flag based on that code. If you drink anything that has an American flag on it, you disrespect the flag. If you wear anything with a flag on it, you disrespect the flag. Because it says specifically, flags should not be worn. No article of the flag should be worn. No article of the flag should be put on athletic material. There's a certain way that you carry the flag that the NFL does wrong every time. So it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And most of y'all don't stand for the national anthem anyway. When we watch the games. When we watch the games and you're not out in the stadium, I've been to bars, I've been at people's houses watching the game. Don't nobody stand for the national anthem. We barely put our hands over our hearts for the national anthem. But because these guys are doing it because there's some injustices, one law enforcement wise and one corporate wise, their corporation is blackballing a person for standing up for police brutality. This is a problem. And y'all want to run around and be like, it's disrespectful. And it's like, come on, man. We disrespect the flag every day. We don't pay attention, or every 4th of July or every patriotic holiday. The irony here is amazing. We disrespect the flag. When we drink a beer or when we drink a Coke with a flag on it, when we wear a USA flag T-shirt, when we wear the USA patterned flag baseball caps and such, we dishonor the flag based on that code. I'm gonna actually find the code and I'm gonna put it in the description so you guys can hear it. But anyway, I didn't plan on being this long, but I don't know. I kind of, with social media and with the craziness that tends to go on, this kind of went into a different thing. But yeah, man. Anyway, push your ball black out. Later. Go Bears.